Good morning. Welcome to United States Sports Academy and our weekly sports talk program. Today I have with me Dr. Fred Cromartie, our Director of Doctoral Studies, and Dr. Brett Simmermacher, our Chair of Sports Coaching. And back after her 2-week hiatus to the College World Series is our wonderful producer, Sarah. And we all four of us picked Coastal Carolina to win it before the tournament started, right?
I did not.
I on this very program, before the College World Series started, picked Miami and Florida to play for the national championship.
I picked them because I told you. I said I was going for the oddball team, and I picked Coastal Carolina, and I picked the Gauchos. I just like those two oddball names.
We were hoping they'd do well, but
it was an awesome story. Anyway, I got this really cool hat and shirt that Sarah
so did I.
got from
Got a nice shirt.
the College World Series, and I appreciate that. And
I got a nice shirt too, but I want a hat now. No.
What we're going to talk about today, it's on the subject of baseball, is the All-Star game. Next Tuesday night, the 12th, is the 100 and some or whatever All-Star game. The numbers are kind of a little mixed up.
See, 100 and something. Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Well, it does matter because
It used to matter.
yeah,
It used to matter.
but interleague baseball's kind of taken away the.
Okay, let's not. Don't go back to yesteryear. Here we go. We get it off into a whole different other subject than that. Let's just deal with baseball today.
Let's do it.
Does it really matter?
Yes, it does because it decides home team in the World Series.
And
That's the only thing that matters.
What was that tie? No, I'm just
Well, that's what started that.
That's why I said that.
Anyway, last night they announced the starters. The American League, the starters are Salvador Perez for the Royals as catcher, first base Eric Hosmer Royals, second base Jose Altuve Astros, shortstop Xander Bogaerts Red Sox, third base Manny Machado Orioles, outfielders Mike Trout Angels, Jackie Bradley Jr. Red Sox, Mookie Betts Red Sox, and David Ortiz Red Sox. And
he's got to be drug tested. You can't be that old and have that spectacular season like he's had.
He's already been drug tested.
Well, that's what he claimed.
And didn't do well.
I know.
For the National League, Buster Posey from the Giants behind the plate. And then the infield is Anthony Rizzo, Ben Zobrist, Addison Russell, and Chris Bryant, all from the Cubs. In fact, that's the first time since 1963 that the entire starting infield was from the same team. And that was the 63 Cardinals. And I actually know this. So do you know who the four Cardinal infielders were?
No.
It was Bill White at first, Julian Javier at second, Dick Groat at short, and Ken Boyer at third.
I've heard of one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much in diapers still, so I really don't know.
63 was the year I was born.
I was
Yeah.
I was a baseball fan.
Yeah, I know.
A very, very young baseball fan in '63. I remember that well. It was a big deal back then when all of them were playing. So I guess the logical question to ask is, did the fans get it right?
Well, that's a debatable issue on all of it. No, in certain sectors, people will say, no, the fans got it wrong. Because there are a number of other players out there that were deserving. But the thing of it is what we have to understand is how the process works. They give everybody an opportunity to vote. Now, do they go back and check and see if the ballot box has been stuffed or the process has been illegally tampered with in some form or fashion? No, they don't do that. They give everybody the same amount of opportunity to vote for their favorite players. The other part of it is too, is if your team is absolutely horrible, you're not getting the fans out to the ballpark to really vote for your players. So
but they do have that goofy rule in there that you have to have at least one player from every team. And that kind of limits, it's kind of like when the 8th place team in the WAC wins the WAC tournament and gets to the NCAA basketball tournament and not split the team out. The fact that you have to have somebody from the Phillies or somebody from the teams that are really bad puts out a player who probably deserves to be.
But remember, this is not something that is just made up arbitrarily by Major League Baseball. That is still collectively in the bargaining process. So the union supports that move too.
One argument, I think, I'm all for the fans getting to see who they want to see. Because you always have the ceremonial all-stars like Cal Ripken Jr. in his last year, Derek Jeter in his last year, and so I don't have a problem with that. I wish they would have picked Ichiro this year, but
you're right. He should have his farewell tour.
But
he's not leaving yet.
No. I was telling one of you guys, I don't remember which one, back in the mid-90s when I lived in Montgomery, I used to go to a lot of Braves games. And back in those days, you could only vote at the stadium. They had punch cards.
Yep.
You had to punch them out. And this one guy in Atlanta, they showed it on television, he had this wood block, and he had like 9 really long, very skinny nails, and they were positioned accordingly. And he'd take like 1,000 ballots at a time and push them down over the nails, and it would punch out all the Braves. So that's the prehistoric way of stuffing the ballot box. Now, of course, you go on there. The only thing you have to do is you have to click this little box that says, "I am not a robot," and it says something like, pick the squares."
And it's the same IPS address, vote 19,000 times or more.
We have the same thing happen.
It's a limit, isn't it? 15 times or something like that?
15 times a day.
A day.
I did vote once because I did vote one day 15 times because there was if you voted that day, you had a chance to win a trip to the All-Star. I guess I didn't know they would call me back.
I didn't know anything about a trip, but I sure did vote for all my Cubs.
So one of the things they always talk about the day after the starters were just announced last night. Everybody, all the so-called baseball experts, will have their list of who are the biggest snubs. And so I'll start with you, Fred. Who do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to stick in my Chicago area in that. My 2 players I think that got the biggest snub are 2 pitchers. One is Jose Quintana for the White Sox, and the other is Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs. I mean, Jose Quintana, everybody can say, well, he doesn't have a great record. He's 6-8. Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, he's 8th in the American League in ERA and WHIP. And he's 4th in total innings pitched. So he's a good pitcher. You can't do everything. His only thing is get up there on the mound and pitch. And he's been very, very successful. He just hadn't gotten the offense behind him to support him.
Plus, your record can be very deceiving.
Which is deceiving
nowadays because of all the specialists that they have, with the late inning specialists and closer. You don't know how many times out of those 8 losses he had a lead when he left.
Well, and he's classified as one of those specialist pitchers and all that stuff. That's the same thing with Hendricks. Finishing my point on Hendricks for the Cubs in that, you name all the great pitchers in the league right now. You've got Clayton Kershaw, you've got Baumgartner, you've got Arrieta, you've got Scherzer and all this good stuff and everything. Well, he's right in there in the mix.
Yeah,
his ERA is just as good or better than any of those.
Scherzer's on the list of possible snubs too. I think Scherzer.
But it's not really a snub on him. Remember, he's been in that situation where he's had a little bit of an injury and he coming back from it and everything like that.
Some of those guys that we're talking about today, especially pitchers, will make the All-Star team. Because if you pitch on Saturday or Sunday, they don't let you go. They let you go to the game, but they don't let you pitch because after all that.
Well, the other part of it is in order to get everybody in the game and all that stuff, they change like every half innings or I wouldn't be at all surprised tonight if it comes down to it. Somebody didn't get in the game, it's a tie game. And, time out, 2 outs. There they go. I got to put him in. It's like, come on.
But they also have to save a couple of position players and a couple of pitchers in case it does go 15 innings.
Well, why not? I don't understand why you have to do that. The Blue Jays haven't saved them. They let them pitch.
One of the if you left it up to the managers, you let the managers pick the pitchers for the game, they'd probably pick 9 closers and throw 1 in if they were trying to win the game.
Actually, I like what Dusty Baker said. Dusty Baker said, look, if this is truly supposed to be an all-star game, it's supposed to be a really, really fun event for all of the baseball fans and that, take all the seriousness away from it. Make it actually a fun atmosphere for the fans and the players to really enjoy themselves, loosen the pressure up, take that, home field advantage of it off and everything like that. And then he said, expand the rosters. Expand the rosters and what he said is that you want to give some of these veteran players an opportunity, like they do in the NBA and stuff like that. Where these guys say, you know what? I played in enough all-star games. I think I'm going to take that 3-day weekend, go home and stay with my family. Let these young guys know, hey, you're the guys in the mix. You can recognize all of the all-stars and everything like that, but when it comes to playing, give the opportunity to these young players.
You made a good point. You talked around a little bit. One of the things I've heard a lot of baseball people talk about is it's dysfunctional to have the All-Star game be selected by the fans because it's the fans' game and you want it to be a fun event, but at the same time have it determine home field advantage.
Yeah.
So it's, either way is good with me, but I think both of them doesn't make sense. It can't be an exhibition and mean something.
No.
So, and I'm all about the fans getting to see who they want to see play. I don't care if they stuff the ballot box, it's up to the fans of who they want to see play. But I think you mentioned a couple of players. There's one pitcher that I think deserve to be there, and that's Aaron Sanchez of the Blue Jays, who right now is 9-1 with a 2.94 ERA and is third in the American League in innings pitched. And my other guy in the American League is Carlos Correa because I think he's the best shortstop in the American League, but he really doesn't have the All-Star numbers this year. And
my guy in Chicago sure does.
In the National League, I think, and again, it depends on what you consider a snub. My two snubs in the National League are Brandon Crawford, the shortstop for the Giants, and Gregory Polanco, the outfielder for the Pirates. I wrote an article on the Golf Digest, the Sport Digest, a couple years ago when Gregory Polanco first got called up to the Pirates. I was sitting in my seat at Augusta Green Jackets game. They were playing whoever the low A team is for the Pirates. I think it was Hagerstown or somebody. Anyway, I'm sitting there looking at my scorecard, and the first two guys for the visitors being out, the guy goes batting third, playing center field, number 25, Gregory Polanco. I looked up and I go, oh my gosh. Some players at that level just look different. He just looked different. He looked different than the other 17 players on the field. And I texted my son, who was going to college in Pittsburgh at the time. I said, Scotty, remember this name, Gregory Polanco. And he hit like a 3-hopper to the left of the shortstop and beat it out by like 2 steps. And the next time he came up, he hit one out of the ballpark in right center field. And he had 1 assist in the game, made a couple other really good throws. But, you talk about 5-tool players. He showed all 5 tools like in the first 4 innings. It was pretty impressive to see him. So I'm kind of a little bit of bias there in that regard, but I like Gregory Polanco and Brandon Crawford as the snubs in the National League. So who do you think got snubbed?
I think in the National League, I'm with you with Polanco. He's hitting 297 with 50 RBIs. I think he's got 20-some doubles.
That's not enough.
24 doubles, 12 home runs, and he scored 50 runs. I mean, what more do you have to do? But to me, it's all a popularity contest, which I think it goes back to what you were saying. They either need to make it like they do in the NBA and put nothing on it, and just let them go out and have fun and please the fans because
they do play some pretty tough defense in the NBA.
Yeah, yeah. And my snub in the American League is Trevor Bauer, the pitcher from the Cleveland Indians. He wasn't even thought of this season as even being a starter, maybe getting some spot work here and there. He's 7-2 with a 3.2. They've been on a 14-game win streak prior to the All-Star break. I mean,
and that's got to be taken into consideration because here's the thing. Again, and I'm all in favor of the Cubs infield being named in that. The Cubs are having a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Cub fans all over the world are just ecstatic right now. Let's see if we can continue to parlay that. We've had a little bit of ebbs and flows lately. We got swept by the Mets, but we're still 10 games up. Right. So that's not bad.
Didn't that happen last October?
Ooh.
They got swept by the Mets.
Okay. But my point is that Cleveland has been playing outstanding. But yet you don't see but a couple of players from the Indians.
2 players on the All-Star.
Yeah, does that come back to chalk it up to the fans in Cleveland where they're not voting for their players, or is it a situation where they come on too late for the All-Star break?
Well, I mean, when I lived back in Ohio, they had Vizquel and all them, and they were going to the World Series and the playoffs year in and year out. They had a streak going of sellouts in the stadium. Well, now they're on their 14-game win streak, and they just sold out this past weekend.
To build their fan base back up.
They've got to get their fan base back up, and I think that's part of the reason probably only have 2.
But see, right now is also part of the reason the fact that so many fans weren't doing the ballpark and basketball.
Mm-hmm. True.
Because you know, hey, Cavs won,
Yeah,
and they were in, you know, and fans
gotta make a
migrated to
choice.
it.
and they're right
Your
next to
money,
each other.
your disposable income.
Yeah, you're right next to each
You
other.
know, it costs you $300 or more to go to see the NBA. It costs you $300 or more to go see the Cleveland Indians.
True.
Who do you want to spend that money with? I think I'm gonna stick with the Cavaliers because they have a chance to win.
One of the things I think it's important, so for anybody who's really adamant about somebody being snubbed, one of the questions you always have to ask yourself is, okay, who do you take off? You know, like for me, for example, I think Nolan Arenado should have been the starting third baseman in the National League because I voted for him last week on the show as the midseason MVP. But I have no problem with Chris Bryant. You know,
He's having a phenomenal year.
they're both
Yeah.
having phenomenal years.
I mean,
That's why
you're
they're both
talking,
All-Stars.
he's put up all-star numbers himself as of right, 24 homers before the all-star break.
Yeah.
I mean,
They do have this little thing now called the final vote players, where 5 players are voted on by the fans. I think, is it via Twitter?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's via Twitter. It's open for a couple days. In the American League, it's Ian Kinsler, Evan Longoria, Dustin Pedroia, Michael Saunders, and George Springer. So if you were voting for one of those, who would you vote for?
I would not have a Twitter account.
If I had to vote, I'd probably vote for Pedroia.
Pedroia, yeah.
If I had a vote.
Yeah.
If I had a Twitter account.
If I had a Twitter account.
I don't tweet either.
I like Ian Kinsler of that group. And
I think we just sounded really, really old. We
Yeah.
don't have Twitter accounts.
I think I have a Twitter account, but I don't think I've ever used it.
That might be me too.
Every now and then I get emails about.
I know I don't have a Twitter account.
I know for a fact I've never used it, but I may have an account, which makes me less old than you.
Wait a minute, do we have Twitter accounts for all of us here? I don't know. Go check that out.
The National League final vote players are Brandon Belt, Ryan Braun, Jake Lamb, Starling Marte, and Trevor Story. You know, we all vote.
Well, I know who shouldn't get it. Ryan Braun, because he don't even know where he's hitting in the lineup.
Yeah, he batted out of order a couple days ago.
Well, it's because of the steroids.
Jake Lamb 2 years ago was the Southern League Player of the Year. When he played third base for the
I'm going Starling Martell.
Mobile Bay Bears.
My vote would go to Story just because of his story.
Yeah, he's got 19 homers.
It
You know,
was a great start.
a couple of us picked him as the midseason rookie of the
Right.
year, and I think all of us picked him as the rookie of the year preseason. We kind of did our preseason show after about 5 games. I think he had 9 homers after 5 games. Anyway, so that's our opinion. You guys are all certainly entitled to yours.
Wait a minute, let's fit. Are we gonna have who do we say is gonna win? I'm going National League.
National League.
What?
Just I'm a National League kind of guy.
I think the American League's going to surprise you.
American League. I'm going with the American League. I'm an American League fan. It doesn't really matter because the Giants are going to win the World Series.
It's an even
It's an even year. But
Yeah,
yeah,
who's gonna win the National
the
League?
Giants.
Yeah, okay. I think
They
you
are
mis-
leading
I think
the
you
West.
spelled that wrong. It's CUBS.
Okay.
When's the last time they won the World Series? Was it 1909?
06.
Oh wait,
19...
doesn't matter. Today counts.
Today's counts. Well, we gotta wrap it up. Sarah's giving us the sign back there that we're running low on time. We hope everybody enjoys the All-Star game. Next Wednesday morning we will probably have a different topic, but I'm sure we can carve out about 2 minutes to talk about how the American League dominated the All-Star game.
And
the
the
night
home
before.
run contest.
Yeah, the home
Go
run.
get your Nathan's. See, and that's where they could really make a difference with the fans is in the home run hitting contest. How about instead of having guys out there pitching, you go out with a pitching machine and you let them use aluminum bats.
Oh, they might
And then you start, well, no, but
to.
you start having even more of a contest. You can see who can hit it the furthest, and things like that. And then maybe you have a situation where you get a ball where you put some kind of numbers on them or whatever, and then they have prizes.
They kind of got that now. If somebody wins a
Yeah,
house or whatever,
yeah, they got the goal ball at the
the
end,
goal ball.
and then for every home run, charity gets a bunch of cash.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that you could do to really
there's like-
spice it up.
There's like 10 people or 8 people. They're like one guy will be assigned to one of the home run hitters, or a lady will be assigned to one of the home run hitters.
And how about a skills contest? That'd be interesting.
Like they do with hoops.
Yeah.
They just had the
I mean, there's all
college
kind-
home run derby too.
There's all kinds of things they could do with it. I mean, like for pitchers, they could do something where you put some plates up behind.
The players are tired.
What's that?
The players are tired. They need a break.
Okay. Well,
They need a break. No,
I'll bet you
I'm
if you
just-
put a little bit of cash on it, they're not going to be tired.
Okay, we digress. We'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. Everybody enjoy the Major League All-Star Game. Enjoy the finals at Wimbledon. Did Federer win this morning?
Yes, he came
in
back.
5
Yeah,
sets.
he came back.
Yes, he came back and won.
Awesome. I'm a Federer fan, so it didn't break my heart when Djokovic lost.
I wouldn't mind seeing the American kid Corey really go far and have an
Did
opportunity.
he win
to
this morning? He was playing at the same time. He was on ESPN2 the same time Federer was on ESPN1, so I was watching Federer.
Oh, I don't know.
And it wouldn't be I wouldn't bat an eye if the Williams sisters wound up competing against each other, because they have they're in different brackets, so they really have a chance to meet
They could
in the
play.
finals. That'd be really nice. I mean, they'd be the two oldest players ever in the finals. Ladies finals.
I would follow their dad to the betting window and then put some cash down on whatever whichever sister he wants to win or tells to win. So anyway, we'll go ahead
That's
and wrap
a
this up.
picture.
Enjoy Wimbledon, enjoy the All-Star Game, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time from the United States Sports Academy. Have a great week in sports, everyone.